running the AC, a welder, and the microwave. Already unboxed, and I found something that I wish every generator come with, and that would be a manual. No, not the manual. Nobody cares about that, except yes, you should read the manual. It's got about 200 warnings in there, but what I love to see was a carburetor seal kit. This actually even comes with a couple jets, and that's because they've done their research and probably found that 99% of the returns are because you left the ethanol gas in it over the winter. So tip number one, use ethanol-free gas. Or propane, because it's a dual fuel. This is the brand new Harbor Freight 4200 watt super quiet inverter generator, and I'm super excited to test out the super quietness. First, we gotta add oil, and check it out. There's actually a little residual oil in there. I'm assuming they tested this one out. They also provide an oil drain line. Thank you, double star. The propane hose is provided, and I'm doing all of my tests on propane. Itsy bitsy spider. Now I'm using propane because you actually get more power from gasoline. So if it can handle it and do what you want on propane, then you know it will definitely have and kick out more output on gas. Okay, and yes, so in reality, I actually like using propane more, and with it never expiring, all the better for those times when you're only using your generator once or twice a year. They claim it's only 59.8 dB, but I mean, that doesn't say at what distance. So a typical electric motor test is done at 1 meter or about 3 feet, and I'm getting 70 dB. Since you can still hear me, I'd say it's pretty quiet. So let's just go over a couple of these things. Up here we got the display, eco mode. Obviously that's gonna run the RPMs up a bit higher. The low oil light, a reset button for the hours, and then the mode. So mode right now, we got volts, and then it goes between hours, and then obviously hertz, we're at 60 hertz. Just keep it on 120 volts. And then up here, if you can see up at the top, it's your output wattage in kilowatts. Let's turn it off just for a second. And we got the USB and USB-C connections, then your parallel connections, which we will get to in a second. 2 reset buttons, then your 1 30 amp and your 2 20 amp outlets. Let's hook this up to the RV and start up some appliances. I'm starting with the AC, and the initial startup jumped up to about 2200 watts, and then it settled down at about 1100 running. The fridge added about 300 or 400. And another big one is going to be your microwave, and that bumped it up to 26 to 2700 watts, which is about the max for propane. Warning, 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 warning. Oh, nope, that one's a caution. Okay, there are warnings everywhere, and so just don't run it inside your house. If you need to be told why you shouldn't do that, you probably shouldn't have a generator. I was curious on how much my welder would draw. Yes, you probably shouldn't weld directly next to a propane tank and any of that kind of stuff. I just had to get us all in the same shot. So I hooked it up, did a 1/8 inch material, fillet welds, and the welder did fantastic. Yes, it did draw close to that max wattage output, so that's about all you can get if you're just welding. Oh, I wasn't lying on the thumbnail. I've got 2 of them. And that's because if you really want to get some power, get a parallel kit and you can hook 2 of these up together. Literally minutes. You've got a simple red and black connection, the ground screw, and you're done. Just turning on the AC, you can obviously see that they are sharing that power. Before, we were at about 1100. AC and microwave going with the welder. If this isn't the ultimate test, I don't know what is. With everything cooking, we are bouncing between 2.2 and 2.5 kilowatts. All of this is within the range for running on propane. Awesome generator that puts out plenty of power to run anything you need.